Hello, everybody. My name is Jasmine, and I'm joined by Satya and Naman for today's session.
Hey, hi everyone. Hi Jasmine. Hi Naman.
Hi everyone, Naman this side, Associate Director, Customer Success at Meritto. Well, I'm excited and thrilled to dive deep into probably one of the most raging discussion nowadays around AI voice. And probably, yes, I am excited, Jasmine, Satya, to meet this counselor probably who smartly answered and very carefully captured all the details from the applicant. So I look forward to meeting this counselor today in today's session.
Very true. Thank you for the introduction, Naman. As Naman rightly said, that we're excited to have you with us. So, today we'll explore how AI calling is evolving beyond prompts and automation to become education's new digital counselors. System that brings speed, context, and consistency to student engagement while empowering human counselors to focus on what matters most. So we look forward to have a thoughtful conversation on the future of student engagement in education. These are the systems designed not just to speak, but to listen, not just to respond, but to understand intent, and not just to automate outreach, but to support human counselors with context, continuity, and consistency. So, over the next 60 minutes, we'll dive into why voice matters more than ever in education, the challenges you'll likely be facing right now, so you can connect with us better, the solutions that we have for that, and how AI voice technology is providing a solution that's both scalable and surprisingly human. Let me start, with something we all know, but sometimes forget in the rush of daily operations. That admission, I believe, has always and always been driven by conversations. So every meaningful decision, from a student's first inquiry to their final enrollment, moves forward through dialogue, trust, and clarity. And as institutions grow, sometimes fundamental changes. Let's think about it from the very first inquiry when a prospective student or parent reaches out with the questions, all the way to final enrollment, every major decision moves through clarity. So a student does not just fill out a form and click enroll. Sometimes, they have certain inhibitions in terms of how the scholarship would look like, how the program structures would be, how the admission structure would look like, if there would be any hostel facilities, or if there would be any placement support that would be provided. And they ask questions, they express doubts, and they need reassurance. They want to understand if the institution is the right fit for them, and all of that happens through conversations. Now, here's what we get complex is, as your institution grows and volumes scale, I'm sure you'll connect here that these conversations can no longer live with just a few dedicated individuals. Sometimes there's a need, or there is a need for a system that demands three critical things: coordination, multiple touch points needs to work together seamlessly, continuity, every conversation should build on previous one, so that there's a contextual conversation that is happening between the students and the counselors. And context, your team needs to know who they are speaking with and where the student is in their journey. So this is the challenge, I believe. And sometimes, and I believe I would say, Naman and Satya, you will also agree with me that there's always a difficulty in managing the speed and quality for the institutions out there.
Absolutely. I guess Jasmine very rightly maybe highlighted by you, right? Typically, when you look at right as an applicant, probably nowadays if I'm applying, right, I would be applying at multiple. I would have multiple options, right? And largely we are living in an era of automation, right? Email, SMS, WhatsApp, everything is probably automated, right? So imagine if I'm as an applicant, if I'm applying to maybe two or three institutions, right? I'm being bombarded, right? With a lot of information. There would be information institute A would be telling me about scholarships via email, WhatsApp. Some other institute would be giving me about fees. Some other would be giving about maybe infrastructure or rankings or something like that, right? So there's a lot of noise which gets created, right? And that is wherein the voice, right, plays a significant role. It helps the applicant, maybe for admission teams also, to steer through that noise and cut out all such maybe gaps, right? So voice has been and will always remain a very critical pillar for any engagement, for any counseling team also, right?
That's right. And I think, we can also understand from our audience that if there are any challenges, they might face currently in terms of today's fast-paced environment in handling queries, in handling calls, and, how they're going about it in the organizations or in the enrollment process. So there's a quick poll, and we'd just like to understand what can be the specific challenges that you all are likely facing right now in lead nurturing and student engagement process.
I'm excited to see what our audience has to see, right? Because largely, I guess it's not just specific to any institution. I guess it's one of the very frequently faced and larger challenge in industry now, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. I am excited to see what matters, what is
I
blocking,
mean, we'll
and what
see.
was clarity for our audience.
Yeah, they also feel what we're trying to highlight or what we're trying to address here, and they're also facing the same things at their end.
Great. So I guess maybe it's interesting to see maybe Jasmine, maybe right if you look at the polls, right? Satya, maybe you can add on to that, right? 43% have mentioned lead volume. Though 43% have also mentioned almost 50% are saying that all of these are the challenges, right? Lead volumes outpacing the team capacity, knowledge gaps during live calls, and even follow-up quality, right? So maybe if you look at it, right, if you understand the because of late over the last few years we have realized it, right, when we go on ground we meet a lot of partners, right, and this is something which we have seen as a common observation and a feeling now on the ground, right, across teams, right. If you were to look at admission as a funnel, right, it all starts at the top of the funnel, right, that is at the lead inquiry, lead volume level. So what is happening is year on year the lead volumes are growing up, right, the marketing spends are growing up. As an institution my marketing spends probably have grown as compared to what it was maybe year back or 2 year back, right, and that is wherein the bottlenecks are coming in, right. I have a team of counselors, my counselor is same but lead volume has significantly grown up, right. So what we have seen largely on ground, when we do reviews, when we do meet partners, around 25 to 30% of the leads largely go untouched only towards the end of the cycle. So what we are saying is the leads have come in. I would have probably invested huge amount on my marketing campaigns, on through my website, through events, and of late probably huge chunk of it goes untouched, wherein probably I could not even reach out, right? So that for me is a missed opportunity itself. Now that is not just the end of the story, right? So when I say 25, 30, almost 20, 25% left untouched, that means from the remaining 75% wherein my team would have already reached out. In that also what happens is we have seen again a very stark industry probably stat that we have seen is almost around 50% of the leads go into RNR, no response, busy, switched off, so these disposition only, right, wherein my team put an effort, right, they try to reach out, however the applicant was not available, right, for whatever reason. So that again, because our my team's effort has gone, right,
Yeah.
and now adding on to that, right, so whatever now my audience is left with, right, remaining, let's assume I'm left with the 30% audience. In that also what happens is when my team was able to connect to the applicant, there also again a 20, 25% of that audience also goes into not interested, call back tomorrow, or maybe I need time, I'm still evaluating. So that again creates bottlenecks at each stage, right. So when we look at right on the top of the funnel, when the lead comes in, I'm not able to touch base all the leads. Whatever I'm probably touching bases, there also there at every stage there's a dropout. 50% will not answer, are not answering, they are not able to, they ask to call back. Remaining where I'm reach out, there's also huge pie who says ki call me tomorrow, I need time, I'm still working. So like that that creates a bottleneck at each stage, and maybe that creates a further ripple effect, right. Now as a counselor, maybe I am always pressured, I'm always probably on my toes to convert more, to call more. Why? Because the lead volume is growing every day, right.
Right.
So that creates again that presses the team to call more and more, thus which impact the further quality also, right, which you also rightly pointed in the earlier discussion, right. Speed and quality, right, both go hand in hand. It's not just
Balance.
enough
Yeah,
to fast. Probably if I'm not able
yeah,
to do those quality calls, right, and it's not just quality won't just help me if I'm not able to touch base all my leads also, right. So that is something which largely teams have been struggling on ground, right, what we have tried to
totally
figure
agree
out.
with you, Naman. Like, of course, they are taking the chance between speed versus quality. when the alert
Yeah.
lead is coming here. So as you also told, like 50% call only. Actually, we have seen also in market stat that 50% call only able to connect. In that 50% also, what exactly happened? Like there is a three level of counselor. One is already who are associated from last 3 4 year, who has already experienced how to pitch, how the scholarship work, how the course fee, which we need to speak to to convert that prospect or lead like student or parents to enroll stage. So they know that script, they have that knowledge, doing by the experience, by doing year and year calling, and they gain that knowledge. But what about the fresh counselor who have joined, or fresh sales manager who have joined to the team? So they don't, to bring that complete knowledge, it will take a year. Like to train them, the fresh counselor, it will take a one season to understand how need to speech, how need to pitch the sales speech, how to convert, how to tell what are the like scholarship offer, what are the course in that course also, what are the benefit a student can gain, is there any sport quota or any other defense quota is there in the scholarship segment. So all the detail, all the knowledge was in detailing. To train them, it will take at least one season. And of course,
Even so,
yeah,
you are absolutely right, right? If I add on to that, maybe it's not just whatever I would reach out. What we have also seen is the average call duration, right? That was also dropped down. Why? Because I'm always running to hunt more, to call more, right? So average call duration come down. So basically, as a counsel, what is happening on ground is I'm largely occupied in probably reaching out to my audience and bucketing them into their funnels, right? Whether it will go into not interested, whether it will go into no response, whether it will go into interested, something like that, right? And
yeah,
probably what happens with this is I'm not able to do what I'm actually meant to do. That is counseling, right?
yeah,
Unlike any other maybe right banking or in the sector where it's more of sales job, in education it's more of a counseling, right? When I have to understand the psychic of the applicant, I would need to spend some time on call, right? To understand where he or she is coming from, what actually they're interested in, what would be more applicable to them, right? To tell them, educate them about my own offerings, about my campus, about my fees, scholarship, right? So that is probably something which gets lost in this process because the teams are occupied in just making sure that I am able to touch base all my leads only.
yeah,
Yeah, and
completely
I
agree
think,
with you,
yeah,
Naman.
I think that's a cycle even that, you have
Absolutely.
to convert from an enrollment till, from an inquiry till enrollment. So it's a journey that a student lives along with the counselors.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
this
that's the
funnel has
audience.
to do.
43%
This
had
funnel has
mentioned all of the above. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, this funnel has to define by the counselor only, because they need
Yeah.
to tag that one in CRM, because that
Right.
there is like that may be possible that they are not in front of system. They might be missed the note what exactly the student tell, which interest they show, which program they are looking. So there is a data huge gaps of data losses. If you are not keep the proper note of that conversation, you are not capturing in the CRM, and you are not kept updated in CRM, then the funnel will not create. You will, there will be a like over a time there will be gaps in add up, like whatever the like conversation you had and you have not updated in system. So suddenly it
Right.
become a, like harder for all the like clearly understanding your pipeline, making the right decision, data driven decision to your upcoming nurturing. Like the further nurturing will be very difficult for the organization to enroll the students.
Right. There's more pressure on the probably counseling team to do more in
Yes.
less time, right? More of leads. Now making sure when I'm calling it, doing all those activities are such as you are right? Adding note, making sure that follow-up is added, making sure that I'm properly marking the disposition, right? And that does which impacts the entire cycle, right? Because I might not be able to add note, I might not be able to add a follow-up because there's so much of lead pile. So that's how it creates probably bottlenecks across all these areas.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why only the industry is shifting to looking for a solution, like how to solve this, how to over this problem. As like Jasmine also earlier told, like in education industry, admission have always been driven by the conversation. Like uh, during
Okay, so we have a poll. Satya, I believe, well, let's just take a moment and let the people answer, on a question that we have asked, and that is during high lead volumes, which approach, the people usually take.
I guess Satya, you have already left the cue card open on the screen. Let's see what our audience take is.
Yeah, having more team member, it's like 8%. Extend shift hour, 8%. Prioritize some lead over other, 33%. Yeah, all of above 50%. Actually 33% is their lead prioritization. Everyone telling 33% and all of above. A mix of all the solution they are telling about 50%. Of course,
Even Satya, interestingly, if you look at it, right, for example, 8% have mentioned that extend shift hours, 8% have mentioned higher team, more team members, right? But again, these are the challenges on ground, right? These are the again limitations because you can do so much only, right? You cannot maybe because lead volume will keep on increasing, and there's a limit to which you can have team members. There's a limit to which you can extend your hours because these are all our physical constraints, right? There are limitations involved.
yeah. So
Yeah, and I believe
really
with
agree
that,
with this. Like let consider any lead is coming in their journey. So parent or student inquiry about enrollment, they have already some question in their mind, like mind. So they want to know which program they need right for them. Can I afford this program? Like what about the placement? And what about the hostel fee? What kind of food they are providing in the hostel? If someone is coming from south to north, so they want to know like what kind of food they will get, the south food or north food only they available. So student not just like they just come and enroll directly. They want to clear their question. They need information. They need clarity. What exactly like course fee? What is the like facility? What is the campus facility? They want to know all these things. So now for like growing organization as the lead volume is growing, so nurturing those lead become a challenge as we discuss and every our audience also told like so industry need a proper solution in place. So that's why everyone now is looking for the AI solution, AI voice solution. Every like education industry they are shifting toward AI solution, so to solve their problem. So like we, so how AI can solve the organization problem here? So actually voice AI agent are intelligent software system that understand process and response human like speech in natural human like conversation. Actually they go beyond the script. Actually if you imagine we are earlier we had the old school IVR system where if you are
yeah,
interested press 1, if you are not
Plus one,
interested
plus
press
two.
2
Yeah.
or press 3. It is not that one. It's actually not just the talk, it's understand. AI is understand. Actually AI understand natural language and conversational context. Ki what exactly you have uh, which program you have interested, which from which state you were. It understand the context. Actually handle complex problem and multi-turn conversation. It can answer your all the query. And if any question like have the not clarity over there, it's the AI can ask clearly question when they need it. Like if someone is asking like what is the fee, but there is a multiple program, so AI will ask okay for which program you are asking. So AI can ask the question when they need it, like when needed for the clarity or for more context. So it's know about when it talking, it's remember the previous conversation, what student asked, which course they have interested in, what fee they are asking. So it's no actually is actually AI is like adopt the tone appropriately, how the student is speaking and how they emphasize the call itself. So it's naturally now behave like the human itself. Actually the AI technology nowadays has been reach a point where conversational feel naturally. Actually student cannot realize they are speaking with actually AI. So it's not important that student not feel like AI because they are getting all the information, they are getting clarity what they actually needed instantly in this from any education institution uh, using the AI. So that's why only everyone like moving towards the AI for a AI solution in place in their enrollment journey to overcome from all these challenges. And every education industry looking for this particular solution nowadays.
that is very true, Satya. And as you rightly mentioned, that why there was a need to actually introduce this as a solution for the people, because they were actually juggling between the numbers, between the orders, which one to prioritize, where to go in terms of the crunch. And obviously, whenever you have a new counselor in place, there has to be a lot time and effort that needs to be invested in terms of the training. So yeah, of course. And this brings to us, for our solution that we are offering here, that is Mio AI Voice. So Mio is an education-ready AI voice agent specifically designed for automating human-like conversations in the education sector. And here's what makes Mio different. Purpose-built for education, Mio is not a generic AI assistant adapted for education. It's built from the ground up to understand educational context, as we just talked about, like courses, eligibility criteria, admission processes, counseling workflows, everything specific to how institutions engage with students. So scales lead nurturing and student engagement 24 into 7. So Mio works around the clock. A student calls at 11 p.m., Mio answers. A parent calls on Sunday morning, Mio is ready to answer that as well. And there are no off hours, no holidays. So obviously, the Mio is here to actually act as a buddy or a digital counselors for the institutions.
Yeah, of course, completely agree with you, Jasmine. Like, because we know education industry from year to year, so we have designed the Mio brain with our learning the journey of the education, like how the enrollment start from lead to application to form, and in from like for edtech also we have designed from like how the lead will come and immediate nurturing will happen, how the sales speech will be happen. Open, we have the deep learning and in place. So we have trained our brain to manage all these huge cases. So just giving an example, like it can speak, it can understand the like human conversation, like human tonality also. Let giving an example, someone is speaking in English, then someone is again move to Hindi, and Hindi also there is multiple regional language. Hindi, Haryani Hindi is different, Punjabi Hindi is different, or some South Indian is telling Hindi is different. So Mio can understand all this regional Hindi and answer the query. It's actually understand when the student is asking, when the like parents is asking the question, and it will keep silent, understand the question, and answer that question, then nurture the further cases. It's actually uh, it's also take a callback request, or when it needed to transfer the call to the counselor also, when the particular like student or parents want to connect with some senior counselor or senior team member, it also understand that one and transfer or store the callback request in CRM itself
Right,
also.
Satya. So, yeah, Satya, adding on to maybe how I look at it is more like maybe as in a layman terms, right?
Yeah.
I look at it as more like as a super counselor
Yeah.
in my
Yes.
team, right? I have had a super counselor on my team whose goal now is to empower, enable my team to convert faster and better. I was able to relate to the maybe initial call. I'm assuming, right, Jasmine, maybe, right, you will be showing us the live also, right, of the same, how it would look like on the back end, how it
Yeah,
was
of
actually, right? So if was able to relate to the initial call that was going on, right, how smartly it was able to capture those details, how smartly it was able to maybe even switch, right, when the applicant, I guess, Rashi applicant responded back in Hindi, the agent started chatting in Hindi, replying in Hindi. When the Rashi, as an applicant, was replying in English, the agent switched to English and started responding in English, right? So, and how it was able to understand maybe what course he or she has already applied, and maybe give the information accordingly. So that is what, right, makes this agent stand apart and qualify the leads faster, better, and pass on to the senior counselors. So, and absolutely with no time restrictions, right? 24 cross 7, maybe this agent, with, I'm assuming, right, since it's a super counselor, it's like no breaks, no lunch break, no loop break, no weekend. As per maybe, right, whenever I have a peak, I can ask this agent to work. This agent maybe will work, filter, qualify leads, and pass on to my team so that they can actually do what they're meant to do. That is counseling. Spend time, understand applicants, like guide them better, right? Do more of a one-to-one human conversation that lasts longer and that creates larger impact, thus boost enrollments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, like apart from this, like Naman, if you come to the complete journey, so it will
right.
like have it will complete the complete. We have a complete audit system in our Mio itself where you can go and listen the recording, you can summarize, you can go and check the 10-minute or 20-minute summary itself there itself. So whatever the conversation happened between AI and the students, so no need to go and to you listen the 10-minute. There is like crisp summary there, you can go read and you can understand and you do the next set of action, you can design your next set of flow, you can design your next set of action, you can change your lead stage, or you can as per you can run a deep drip marketing over there, and we have a
I guess thus probably making it truly agentic as well.
yes,
When you say that, right, it is actually able to post the call, right? When you say the action, right, taking the updating of the field, or changing the stages, or creating the report, right, which makes it actually agentic in nature also.
Yeah, and I
So
believe
what?
it becomes part of the system, and it makes it a more comprehensive system in nature than just being a standalone agent. It becomes a part of the system. It does work on behalf of your counselors. It gives you insights into the ROIs and everything. So what we can do is let's just dive into the specifics of how it is a comprehensive system that matters for AI, and how actually it works in terms of the Meritto CRM. So what we've done is that we've created a wireframe of how the conversation is happening, not just at the front end but at the back end as well. So what Mio does here is that Mio connects directly with our Meritto CRM. So it gives a call to the prospects or to the students, and already has the context in terms of if there's any program a student has already shown interest in, or a prospect is there who's not really sure, I mean, in terms of a specific program, but still have some questions in terms of the structure, in terms of the academic fees, in terms of any placements that the institution offers. So the context that the call has is already set in terms of getting that pre-integrated with Meritto CRM, and it reads through the student details. So Mio accesses the student's profile, their name, their location, educational background, previous interactions, so to make the call more contextual, and stage in the admission funnel. This context shapes how Mio approaches the conversation and asks the smart questions. So it is not just a voice guide for the students. It can also help the counselors at the back end to actually bring the leads which are pre-qualified. So, based on the student's profile and the institution's requirement, Mio asks the relevant, intelligent questions, and it does not, just waste time asking for information you already have in the system. It focuses on filling the gaps and qualifying the lead further. Then comes the confirms eligibility criteria. So, as I said, that Mio understands your eligibility criteria for different programs. It can access whether a student qualify for specific courses based on their academic background, preferences, and any other factor that the college might feel that okay, this is my eligibility criteria to qualify a particular prospect and move forward in terms of the enrollment funnel. Then it can also update the lead stages. So based on the conversation, you automatically moves a student through the funnel. So it does not have to be a counselor who now goes on the back end, update the lead stages manually. It all happens automatically via the Mio voice agent itself. If you feel that a lead is qualified and interested, move to next stage. Needs more information, maybe schedule a follow up, so the counselor can take over from there and have a more personalized conversation for any complex questions. And then becomes a very important feature and a very strong feature that Mio is offering right now, and that is we also take the callback requests if needed. So that there can be multiple scenarios, and I believe Satya, Naman, you guys would also agree with me that there are times that uh, the complex questions, or maybe students are having specific inhibitions in terms of the enrollment and would want to speak with a human counselor. So Mio,
Right.
yeah, Mio then seamlessly capture that request, schedule it appropriately to the specific course or program counselor to answer those questions. And then obviously, at the end of the day, if you see from a management's perspective or from a leadership's perspective, they would like to see all actions logged automatically at one place. So every conversation is transcribed, every data point is captured, and every action is logged. So you have complete visibility into what's happening across all your student interactions. And more than voice on the line, it's a comprehensive system that Mio is, and it's just not making calls, I would say. So it's your intelligent engagement layer that sits between students and your team, ensuring interaction is productive, every data point is captured, and every opportunity is maximized so that they move around the funnel until the enrollment.
Yeah.
So I guess, Jasmine, maybe if you look at this, right, one of the most critical aspect of this flow becomes defining the role of an agent, right?
Yeah.
What this agent is going to drive, right? It's not that maybe I've created one agent who is meant to do anything and everything in my enrollment funnel, right? That was you of this agent will also maybe engage new leads, also maybe engage my existing leads, or also drive my post application process, right? So that is where we draw those lines, because when we say agent, right, it's nothing but, as I mentioned, I look at it as a super counselor. So I need to define the role of this agent,
Yeah.
because this agent will be meant only to qualify my leads, right? Now, this agent will be trained on just the qualification use cases. This agent goal would be any new lead comes in to reach out to them, get the basic information from them, capture their intent, and generate some sentiment score and then provide it to qualify and provide it to my team, so that my team then can probably actually spend their time nurture high intent leads, right? So if 100 leads have come in, my team probably tomorrow would know that, okay, I have to just focus on these probably 40 leads or 30 leads, which have all wherein Mio has done first level of engagement and maybe qualified them, right? Now, as a counselor, when I go, I know that, okay, this is the chat history, or maybe this is the voice history, or I can see the recording, listen to the recording, and maybe then spend time on this particular applicant. Next angle would be, maybe I want to have an agent whose goal would be just to reactivate. For example, a lot of time what happens towards the deadline, there's a huge pressure on the counseling teams, right?
Yeah.
Because the lead volume is high, I'm getting a lot of new leads probably, but and there's a huge chunk of lead which is already present in the system, right? Which it's not practically possible to maybe touch base upon in a maybe a week or maybe few days time, right? Therein my this agent comes in, which is purpose built trained on reactivation use cases. This agent maybe will all this conversation will drive it, will try to reactivate. Hey, maybe Satya, I can see you have already applied, let me know if you're still interested, or maybe how can I, something like that, right? I can create that flow and maybe reactivate my leads. Another flow I can create somewhere around maybe for specific post application process, say interview, or say anything related to maybe say scholarship, which will be purpose built for scholarships for all my post application flows, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So defining role of an agent is something that is very critical in this entire loop.
Yeah, Naman, completely agree with you. Actually, the best AI agent is the specialist, not the generalist agent. Actually, you need to define the goal, what exactly they need to go, so they can able to do the focus in the particular job, and then you can able to measurable also. That can be like this particular agent A is the lead qualification agent, so you can able to measure that how many lead has been qualified from this agent. So it's most important that you need to define a goal for a agent to like drive better outcome, specialized outcome. Just giving an example, if you have a heart problem, you will not go to general doctor, you will go to the specialist on the heart surgeon. So of course, like in AI also the same only. So if you put a generic, so it will go here and there and it will do everything small chunk, and you cannot get that outcome what exactly you are looking from the particular agent. So that's why it's important to understand the goal of the agent, what exactly the goal, define that goal, and measure that goal and improve that one. So that is a critical thing. I think let's move to the live demo, so our audience can experience the what exactly how exactly it will work in our integrated Meritto system.
True. So let me just play the video quickly.
So yeah, this is our CRM system where you can filter out the data and you just run the campaign with the Mio AI calling. If you click, it will.
So maybe yeah, Jasmine, if you can just go back. So basically,
uh,
what we are saying is, Satya, I can probably put any logic here. I can filter out any lead. For example, I want to focus on maybe say publisher leads, or I want to focus on only on my brand pool leads of last 7 days.
Yeah, of
right?
course, you can filter out the data. Like if it is a fresh lead, you can automate it also. And you can, if you want, you can do it manually also. Both the way you can do this one with our automation also. Mio is coupledly integrated. So you can filter out the data, and either you can run with the multiple agent you can define with the particular goal. So just giving an example, here we can run with a lead qualification agent. So you can select from here like which agent you want to run. Okay, once you select the agent, it will ask when you're running bulk campaign, you want to test any call to your number. So you want to test the AI calls here. So you can enter your number. You can try a test call over here. So I'm just we just keeping here. It is not a mandatory process. So here is the campaign name. Like you can define a campaign, like for which campaign you are doing, like any publisher campaign you are doing, or direct website campaign you are doing. You can define the like bucketing with the user registration date also for January, January month, December month, which month lead you are doing. As per your bucket or your business processes, you can define the campaign over here.
Yeah, for campaign tracking also maybe in
The
future
campaign
which
tracking,
campaign.
it will give you the better
Right,
like
right.
reporting
And
structure for your team.
And I think this is a very strong point. So if we see that, first you can filter out the leads that you would want to make a call on. Then you can choose on the agent from which you would want to, run the campaign, and then you can also deploy a campaign there. So yes, I think just a very best solution for the institutions to leverage on.
so I guess all our audience are already Satya, maybe, right? I can vouch for that. Audience is already expert on these filters, right? They can build any custom logic, right? So it's just about now putting that logic here and just selecting the agent, whether it's a qualification agent or reactivation or reminder agent, and then
Just, it's just a two single click and you can run your campaign itself. Like you just filter out the data, choose a agent, deploy the campaign, and start the campaign.
basically simple two-step process, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Great.
start out. Okay. Call is
This is
ringing. Okay.
Shreya calling from ABC Institute of Technology. You recently applied online for the BTech Computer Science program, so I'm calling to confirm a few details. Is this a good time to talk?
Yes, ma'am. It is fine.
So, Ria, have you already completed your class 12th?
Yes, I have, and I got 85% marks.
That's a good score, Ria. Congratulations. And was your class 12th with physics, chemistry, and math?
Yes, ma'am. I had a PCM only.
Okay. And may I know your class 10th percentage?
In class 10th, I think I got 88%. Yes, I got 88% marks.
Great. Are you planning to start BTech this year itself?
Yes, ma'am. This year only.
Which city are you currently based in?
Currently, I'm living in Ghaziabad.
ABC University is located in Noida, and our computer science program focuses on industry-oriented subjects, internships, and structured placement preparation. For admission to the BTech program, students need to appear for our entrance exam, the ABC GST exam. Based on your performance, you may also be eligible for scholarships. Would you like more information about the entrance exam, fees, and scholarships?
Yes, I would like to know more about exams and the scholarships. Yes.
Sure, Ria. I will arrange a one-to-one detailed call with our senior counselor.
Yes, ma'am. कल आप इवनिंग में करवा दो.
आपको कल शाम एडमिशन टीम की तरफ से कॉल आ जाएगा.
Okay, thank you.
ऑल द बेस्ट, रिया. गुड बाय.
Oh.
This is like call which like our Mio AI voice is speak with the RIA. The RIA is the lead. So after this call, you can see the campaign outcome also here in Meritto system itself. Like how many call you have triggered, how many pending, how many answered, how many not answered, how much busy, what is the average call duration, how many mets has been used. Yeah, apart from this here, you can see the, you can audit the call itself. Okay, you can see the transcript of the call. You can see the like summary of the call, and you can see the, if you click here, you can recording also call and summary and complete transcript. What exactly the sentence like student told in the conversation, and what exactly the Mio has been told in that conversation. You can check over here directly itself. Once you click on the lead profile, also it will once you go to the like Mio field, it will capture all the information which you want to capture. Like you can see, like Ria told 85%, so it's captured. qualified, the sentiment of the call, how they are interested, not interested, how the sentiment over the of the call we have defined here, and the city told Ghaziabad, Ria told Ghaziabad she's staying. So Mio capture all the information automatically in Meritto CRM in AI field itself. Okay. Apart
Amazing. I
from
guess Satya, for a larger audience reference, maybe I would want to touch upon this point. We see this field lead qualification status. Maybe if you just go back a little bit, lead qualification status, it was mentioned as qualified. So this is something which is configurable. In this, I guess there's a logic of defined of 80. If the score is above 80, mark this lead as qualified. So basically we can configure this logic. You can have your own any configurable logic that if this is the logic, this is the score, or if this field has this value, then mark it as qualified, something like that. So this agent has smartly tried to capture this information from the applicant, done the complete call sentiment analysis, marked as qualified, and passed on to this human. Now this human automatically, whenever they comes in, logs into the system tomorrow morning, they would
and
have already worked upon leads, wherein they can actually spend time and convert them.
yeah, based on data collection, you can define your journey, and you can allocate to the counselor. You can notify to your counselor. You can send an emailer. You can do a drip marketing. So we'll go for the timeline also. Here in timeline also, we capture the call recording and the call summary. When the next time your counselor is visiting the profile, so they don't have any campaign report access also, they can go to the lead profile and they can view all the detail. What is the field data collected? What is the summary of that call? And the call recording also, okay, they can able to listen when they are doing any kind of further nurturing. They have all the information in a single place, in a single screen itself.
And I think this is the most powerful feature that we're trying to actually put everything in one place for the counselors is that they can just see the summary, they can also listen to the call recordings and take forward the conversation from there.
So there's a very slight difference here also. If you see, maybe right, Jasmine, which Satya also maybe touch base. There are two things. One is transcript, wherein I will be able to see the entire conversation. But sometimes what happens is transcripts are too long. I would not want to spend maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes reading the entire transcript. Maybe then this summary notes will help me. Wherein
Correct.
it's right. Mio has created a short summary based on the entire conversation, so that I in the morning if I come, I can just go through this summary and I know that what actually has happened in this call, and maybe how I need to action, what will be my next action. I can directly just jump into that then.
Very true, Naman.
Brilliant, brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, this is the like one demo live agent. So like that, there is a multiple agent which do their own job, and the further journey can be defined, automation automated. Yeah,
Right.
this is the integrated solution that can be help. So I think Naman can you help like how integrated solution
So
can help our
I think before that,
audience?
Satya, we have another poll for our audience. So the poll says that where can an AI voice add the most value today?
great. I guess the best part I liked about it is maybe Satya is right? How easily probably in a simple one click, 2 click, I can initiate the action. I can do the call, right? Just put up my any filter I want, right? Be it any state or be it any based on the lead score, whatever I can think of.
Yeah.
Whatever I can think of, I can build a logic. I can filter out that data and just simply choose my agent, whether I want to reactivate or I want to maybe qualify and then start. That's it. And then Mio will do the rest of
Right.
the magic.
And Naman, just on that note, you have the answer to the poll as well, and 69% of the people think that, okay, this voice agent can help. The most valuable way is that they can qualify the lead on behalf of them. And I think that's what we've been talking about so far, that how this can
Absolutely.
actually be, a buddy for the counselors in place, and how, as you just rightly mentioned, how this can be a super counselor in place.
Right. It's like even if you read, right, good to see, right, the audience are also able to connect with that pain, right? What we talked about, right, initially, that it all starts at the top of the funnel only, right?
Yeah.
Wherein the volume is growing, going up and up day and day, right? And in certain situations at a peak, that volume will suddenly go up, right? For example, I started one campaign yesterday, automatically the peak will come up. That is when this can add a significant value right? This can empower my team to qualify those leads and then pass on to my team. With the further use cases, a lot of solid use cases are there, maybe, right? Around reactivation also, when I'm approaching my deadline, reactivation agent can be deployed to touch base upon all my existing leads and immediately get the industry leads into the focus of my team. Because typically in education, sometimes what happens is, today I would have decided I don't want to apply for this institution, but maybe after 1 month I have now changed my mind, right? But
Yeah.
generally what happens, the team would miss out on such leads, right? Because they are already occupied with the new leads, and then they would not know that the student is interested now. So this agent can be probably very powerful there to identify such applicants and get the council's focus over here, so that they don't miss out on even any one applicant, right? Great.
True. That's how we have a comparison on the screen here, that how Meritto integrated AI voice agent can be different from a standalone AI voice agent, and maybe Naman or Satya, would you want to put some light on this as well?
I would like to throw a little maybe reference for this, largely because of late what we have seen is see, AI is there's a lot of FOMO around the AI, right? Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody wants to do some, probably build something on the AI, right? And largely, right, the industry is now flooded with a lot of such AI solutions, right? There are a lot of AI solutions, standalone platforms, standalone solutions have come. Why? Because see, in education now we are adapting to it. But largely, if you see, right, in other industries, other sectors like BFSI, they're already flooded. I'm assuming even you, our audience also, probably everyone would have already started getting calls from banks for insurance,
Yeah.
for loans. What are AI calls, right?
Yeah.
So, so these are all again standalone AI solution. In this case, what happens is, I have a database, right? I just need to upload it and they just need to do the call. The agent will just sell the loan, will just sell the insurance, right? Thus, there's a huge market for such standalone AI solutions, right? Thus, probably we see there's a lot of noise on ground when we go for meeting. We meet a lot of our partners, they say that probably we have got these so many XYZ proposals, offers around this AI, right? Which is maybe giving somebody would be giving for free also, right? But that is where for us it's important to understand, right? In the education space, there's a fundamental difference, right? We are not selling anything, right? Unlike maybe banking, insurance, or other sectors, right? We are talking about the counseling, right? Our in the education has its own sort of challenges, has its own use case, right? That is wherein Mio fits in, right? It is not just any generic AI solution, right? It's purpose built for the education space, right? Which is trained, which is expert, which is an expert of handling education use cases, right? There are a lot of dynamics, right? Understanding requirement, maybe whatever, like CRM data points, there's applications, scholarships, and for the lot of nuances, right, involved in the counseling process, right? Thus, this Mio comes in, right? And if you talk about any AI solution, right, what makes it stand apart? What stand makes any AI solution stand apart is the context.
Yeah.
AI cannot be impactful, cannot be powerful unless it has the context, and that is where in these standalone solutions will not be able to solve, will always struggle, because that any standalone solution will not have a context, whether this what this student has done so far, whether they have already applied or not, whether they have already maybe for what course they have already applied, or what action has been taken by the counselor on this particular lead, right? Or what was the previous activity done, something like that, right? And this is where Mio creates a significant value. Why? Because again, tightly coupled with the CRM, with the application suite, Mio knows that, say, Satya has already registered, Satya has already applied for, say, computer science or any XYZ course, or he has done this activity in past, or
Yeah.
maybe in last time I've already spoken, and will be able to drive meaningful conversation. So that is one of the most critical differentiator here, right? And maybe now, once that is done, if you talk about the second, what maybe creates a value, what makes this Mio stand apart, what makes it actually super, is that it is agenting in nature. And how it is agenting in nature, because it's tightly coupled with the CRM application. So the story doesn't just ends at the first step, that is initiating the call and making it much more contextual and personalized. The larger and the more one of the most significant component part of it comes after the call, once the call is wrapped. How this agent is able to do further action, as maybe Satya, right, was able to highlight in his demo, right? It's able to do the call sentimental analysis. It's able to maybe qualify the lead based on the logic configured in the system. It's able to update the lead stages, it's able to update any field and further initiate email, WhatsApp, or any other allocation to the within the team. So whatever I can think of, I can define that in a workflow, right?
Yeah.
And that makes it truly agentic in nature.
Yeah, yeah, it's like couplely sync with the CRM system. So you can like find your outcome, whether it is in terms of report, whether it is ROI, whether it is a next step of like nurturing. So when you come to a standalone solution, yes, you can do a calling without contest. Like there is a bare minimum contest in your standalone platform. When it come to the like integrated Meritto system where all your information lead to application, all the data, what you have collected past, what the conversation your counselor had with that particular student who have already like whether they are applied for the form or they have initiated, whether they have done the payment or not. All the information and data points stored in the Meritto CRM, and data is the critical aspect in terms of AI. To run any AI, if the data or context is required, pretty much keep it
Satya, that also
any
when
AI.
you talk about, yeah, Satya, absolutely. When you talk about data, that also brings in one of the most critical element, right?
Yeah,
For the education space, data security, right? See, we as an education institution, we are talking about maybe it's we are holding a very sensitive data, right? Applicant credentials, right? Profile data, email, mobile, all that data is there, right? So data security is one of the key expected Meritto, right? We are talking about, right, all those compliances, right? We're talking about GDPR, right? All of that is already handled in the platform. And if you look at it, right, what earlier was a challenge in industry, which we have already solved over the years, right? Earlier, team would use to manually take the data over sheet from the agencies, publishers, upload the system. All of that has been streamlined today via tightly coupled APIs, right? Even with the Google, Facebook, all of that is seamlessly pushed. Handshaking is done via APIs and clicks of button, right? Now, right, the same is we are talking about in AI also, right? Imagine, right, me coming every day downloading data, right, again uploading it on the any third party solution, right? So ultimately what is happening is I'm exposing my data is getting leaked out, right? I'm sharing over
And
Excel,
that's not even, I mean, to just manually upload the data from one system to the other, that's not advisable even. And of course, the set of rights
right?
stays with the admin. So it becomes a manual job for the admin to do so because not
Very absolutely.
everybody can have the access to export or import the data into the CRM.
Absolutely, because if you see, right, this what you mentioned is a very critical point of view, Chris. That's when all these are very sensitive permissions in the CRM itself, right? In the platform itself, Meritto itself, very sensitive in permission, which are restricted to a very limited people, like say admin or so, right? There's all these bottlenecks come in, right? In fact, also considering that now that probably we are aware that government has already enforced DPDP Act, right? Wherein already the government has given a timeline of I guess somewhere around 18 months, right, to implement it, right? All these factor will ultimately come into play, right? And that is how we are, wherein we are saying how Mio is tightly coupled with Meritto, right? And how Mio actually becomes super in nature and is able to create a larger value and becomes agentic in nature.
yeah,
True that. And I believe it's just not about making calls, it's about making the right calls to the right audience at the right time, is that we are trying to say. And that's how, Mio is built. And that's what we are introducing in the industry right now. So, as we close, I just want to leave our audience with this thought that the future of student engagement is not about adding more calling capacity or adding more people. It's about building an intelligent voice layer that understands context, supports your counselors, and scales conversations with consistency. And I believe we are at an inflection point in education technology. The institutions that grab this shift early would have a significant, competitive advantage, and they'll be able to deliver better student experience, I would rather say. And when they'll operate, more efficiently, they'll be able to take better decisions which are data driven. And most importantly, they'll never miss an opportunity to connect with the prospective student. And with that note, I believe we are now open. Yeah,
Jasmine, I guess one small request before we wrap, I would want the audience maybe because I can see there are a lot of questions in the Q&A. If
yeah, yeah.
somebody who has
That
questions,
was
you can
great.
please maybe we can have a quick 2 minute Q&A round
Yeah.
maybe so that if an
Yes.
audience if they have any questions to clear, we have product expert today Satya also on call. So I guess would be the right platform if they are able to spend maybe 2 or 5 minutes on this. So I guess, right, to all our audience, maybe if you have any doubt, question, please feel free to put on the Q&A section, right? We'll be glad to take them up, right?
I
I
think
can see, Jasmine, we have one question already. Satya, if you would want to take
Yeah, I
it
think
up.
Harpreet Trivedi already did. I spoken to the agent and it reviewed to speak in Malayalam, British and American English. So again, I told you like every agent has to define a goal, define a language, what kind of language they want to like cater, which kind of audience. So Harpreet, you can connect with our team. We will help you to connect with the agent. We can speak with an American accent over there.
So basically, Arpit, right, what Satya was also meant to write, you can define the role, you can select, right, that this agent will be an expert in, say, Malayalam, or it will be expert in Telugu, or in maybe this XYZ language, right? We have another question, maybe from Ms. Sarita Naidu. What about no response bucket, right? So again, I guess Satya, maybe you can add on to this, right? When we, what I understood is maybe she wants to know more about if any lead which are into no response, because this is one of the key bucket when the huge lead lie into this bucket only.
Yeah.
So as maybe Satya highlighted in his demo, right? You can filter
Yeah,
out such no response and run
no
a agent on
response.
this audience.
Yeah, no response call we can figure out and you can filter out and you can recampaign them after like 1 day or 2 day. As basic practice, we
Right.
don't tell like, say, if someone is not answering the call, do the calling in the same day. You should try after 1 or 2 days, so there will be probability to answer that call, and the time should be changed. If you are calling at the 3 p.m. on that campaign, so you should run that campaign at the evening or in early morning. So
Yes,
there will be a chance to increase the answer.
right. You can build an automation also for this
Yeah.
disposition, right? Maybe say after 2 days for this disposition, initiate this call. And I can maybe create a custom agent which will be trained on this goal only, role only, reminder calls, reminder only. For example, we talked about creating an agent specific to qualification, specific to reactivation. Similarly, an agent specific to reminder can be probably trained.
Yeah.
That's right.
Alok Raj is asking about cost. Alok, you can like connect with our team. They will help you on this cost part.
Uh, so you can connect with your customer success team, right?
Yeah, we
They'll be able
tested.
to reach out to you, right? Show you a full-fledged demo of the same, and will be able to probably, yeah, take this ahead with along with you. So, I guess another follow-up question from Sarita Naidu. This is for answered call, but how about unanswered call? So basically, this is what Sarita we're trying to say is for unanswered calls also, right? You can build an automation. What Satya was trying to highlight, right? If, for example, if somebody was wherein call has not been answered, right? So you can make another attempt. You can configure your own workflow that when you would want to maybe initiate retry, maybe after minutes, after hours, or after 1 day or something like that, right? So that you can configure using the complete workflow only. You can build on the workflow. And maybe you can, what we'll do is we have already noted down, right? Your dedicated team can reach out to you to assist you here. They'll show you a full-fledged demo and will help you how you can create a custom workflow and how agents can be aligned onto those workflows.
Yeah. So I think like I think let's
I
wrap
guess
up
few
this.
more questions are there. I guess we have noted down. We'll ask our teams. They'll reach out to you also. I guess for the best interest of time, because we've already crossed, I guess, 4:30. So no worries. We have noted down these questions. We'll make sure that these questions are passed on to your team, customer success team, and they'll reach out to you.
And also, just want to let all the people know that this is just the beginning, of our webinar series, and we'll be talking more about specific use cases and success stories in the upcoming webinars. We'll also be talking about how we can implement best practices, how we can measure on the ROI from voice AI, and also how our advanced features and what can be the customization options. So make sure that all of you are subscribed to our updates so you don't miss future sessions. And we just want to thank you once again and look forward to staying in connecting with all of you.
Thank you so much to everyone. It was a pleasure connecting with you all. Wish you a good day ahead.